I'm Sharon Betters, and this is the Daily Treasure podcast produced by Mark Inc. Ministries. And I'm so glad that you have joined us for this series called Life-Giving Encouragement. It seems as though we are in a very chaotic season in our world, let alone our own country, and it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. And if you're like me, you are turning off the news and realizing that your hope comes from Jesus and nowhere else. And it's our hope and prayer that as you hear these devotionals, that they will help turn your heart toward Jesus in these very chaotic times, and that you will find ways to share the hope and the help of Jesus with others. And so today's devotional is called Priceless Treasures. And today's treasure is from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 7 through 12. But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying in the body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our bodies. For we who live are always being given over to death for Jesus' sake, so that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our mortal flesh. So death is at work in us, but life is in you. This powerful passage in today's treasure deserves a digging deeper effort. We can't unpack its beauty fully in a devotional, but this week, let's pull back the curtain a bit on the supernatural grace and hope in these words. When Paul mentions treasures in jars of clay, his audience immediately pictured Roman soldiers marching victoriously after a battle into the city of Rome, displaying the spoils of war. In their hands and wagons would be their plunder, gold, silver, and jewels. This glittering, sparkling treasure was stored in jars of clay. The eyes of the people along the parade route would not be drawn to the dull container, but instead to the precious, sparkling treasure in the jars. We might feel inadequate, even dull and mundane, ill-equipped to offer help and hope to anyone. Paul clears up this misconception when he agrees that though the container is dull and most likely cracked, if I am a child of God, it contains the priceless gift of Jesus. As we fall more in love with Jesus, eyes of others are drawn to the sparkling, glimmering treasure of His love flowing through the cracks in our clay pots. The night of our son's death, I whispered these words, "Lord, I'm not going to pretend to trust you in this agony. I'm a pastor's wife, and I know how to put on the face of faith. But I need to know that Jesus really does live in me and that He really is bringing beauty from the ashes of my life. I need to know that everything I have taught and believed is true. If someone tells me they see Jesus in me, it will be because He is keeping the promise of His presence, not because I'm trying to work up my faith." The picture of Roman eyes being drawn to the priceless treasure shimmering through the cracks of a clay pot encouraged me to believe that my greatest treasure, Jesus, would shine through the cracks of my broken heart. When He shines, eyes are drawn to Him, not my inadequacies. Jesus did not disappoint me. This week, we will focus on that incredible treasure of Jesus. We need to be reminded that life-giving encouragement is not a to-do list, but rather a lifestyle that flows from intimacy with our Savior. If you have the book Treasures of Encouragement, read chapter 4 to open up this theme a little bit more. Also read 2 Corinthians 4. Take notes during your pastor's message on Sunday, watching for love notes from the Lord, designed to help turn your heart toward Jesus. Friends, thanks so much for joining us for the Daily Treasure podcast, and we are so grateful when we hear stories about how God is using this devotional to help turn your hearts toward Jesus. Another resource that we want to offer to you is Ask Dr. Betters, on YouTube. My husband Chuck answers hard questions about suffering, questions that are submitted to him by people from all over the world. And you can submit your question as well. So go to markinc.org, that's markinc.org, where you can submit a question for Chuck to answer, or you can leave your own story about how God is using Daily Treasure to help turn your heart toward Jesus. Again, I'm Sharon Betters, and thank you so much for joining us, and I look forward to being with you tomorrow.